Well guys, we were kind of busy. Didn't have time to get anything except for that little bit of the truck pulling out. If you take a look, you can see I'm kind of smoothing this out a little bit right here, right now. Already been around the other three sides, but that's just the preliminary. It's nowhere near the finish yet. Well, it's actually starting to look pretty good as far as a footing is concerned. You don't necessarily have to have this nice of a job for a footing, but it's not bad to have it that way either. And I can thank my son-in-law there. He's the one up there crawling around on his hands and knees. Who'd have thought that an electrician would have enough energy left on a vacation day to spend it up here helping me? Well guys, if you're like me, you always have just a little bit of concrete left over, and you never have a place to put it. So in anticipation, I laid out this 48-inch box and put rebar and stuff in it, shot holes into the foundation, stuck the rebar in, bent it out at a 90-degree angle, and put cross-tie rebar in it. And so we'd have a place to put some extra if we happen to have some. And guess what? We had just enough left over to do this much right here, and I still have about 2.5 5-gallon buckets left in the wheelbarrow. I might add the very pretty pink wheelbarrow with the polka dots on it. Well, that's good enough edging job. We'll let that set up just a little bit more, and we'll put a little broom, drag a broom across that, and it's got a half of a bubble fall in 48 inches, so that should shed water for sure away from the house. Finally though, we had a place to use up the concrete overrun. Well, there's the finished product. Not the absolute best in the world, but it's not too bad. Okay guys, what you see is what you get. It's plenty good for just a shed. It's going to be a nice size shed for her lake and garden tools and yard tools. I don't care who you are unless you're a professional. Concrete is always a little bit stressful, simply because, you know, it comes down to calculating exactly what it is you need. Because, you know, at $150, $180 yard, you know, you don't want to make too much of a mistake. You know, a couple of wheelbarrows is not too awful much, but if you go ordering 1.5 yards too much, you know, because you did a little miscalculation, you know, that's kind of painful. And just as painful is sometimes when you end up with a little bit not enough, as in like a 1/2 yard or better. I've helped poor many a time whenever they come up short, and we had to scrimp and save and everything in order to get it smooshed out enough to make up that difference. So the right way to do it, if you're too short, is just pay the extra money and have that truck get back to the plant and get some more concrete here as quickly as possible. You know, just bite the bullet and do it. But I've been very fortunate and not had to have done that for myself. I always managed to get just a little bit more than what's necessary. That's important. So next thing will be setting forms, you know, for the foundation wall. And I think they're going to be 4-foot forms. I don't know exactly what the height of it's going to be. And I've decided to go ahead and have a buddy of mine come down and do it. I may come down, give him a hand putting them up. It'll kind of cut that price a little bit, you know. And then once we get that, we'll pour them walls, and then it's all over but the crying. So you know what? I ain't got much else to add to this one here. It's nice and short, man. And this Tractor Man 44, and I'm out of here, guys. Oh yeah, son-in-law's already gone.